I didn't think I'd be having this conversation so much. I didn't think I'd be having this conversation so much. Good morning, PT on Ice Daily Show. My name is Dr. Alexis Morgan. I am one of the faculty with clinical management of the fitness athlete, pregnancy, and postpartum. We just got off the road, got back last night from Atlanta, where we had our live course, and we had such a great group. It was so fun. And today's topic kind of comes up because of so many conversations that we were having yesterday. And before I jump into that, I just wanted to let you all know that we are having our 8-week online cohort start on July 5th. So, if you are interested in jumping in and learning more about how to work with a pregnant and postpartum athlete, you can learn more in the online format. And we would love to have you. That will be starting again on July 5th. If you're hoping to jump on the road with us, we've got one a month for the next several months. So you can look online at the website and see where we're at. We'll be in Utah soon. That's next month. We'll be in Cincinnati and all over. So jump in. We would love to see you on the road. Good morning. All right, so let's talk about what is it that I didn't think I was going to be talking about so much. And y'all, that is REDS, or relative energy deficiency in sport. When I first started getting into working with female athletes, or just kind of working with the athlete population in general, I really thought that we would just be, working on various injuries that popped up, and especially getting into pelvic health, working on various issues like incontinence or prolapse, which we often call heaviness, or birth prep. I really didn't think that I was going to be having a conversation with my clients about how much they were eating. We all talk about what to eat as part of our intake, right? We talk about it in every single one of our ICE courses, that we really need to hear about what we're eating, because some of these inflammatory ingredients, sugar being a main one, can really drive the outcomes in our plan of care. So we have this conversation about what are you eating, and are you putting sugar in your coffee in the morning? Like, are you grabbing that late night snack? And we're kind of understanding on that level. And by the way, that is a wonderful conversation to have. This is an and conversation, not or. So talking about what we're eating is really, really important. And then getting an understanding of how much someone is eating, how much protein they're getting in, and what are their belief systems about their own bodies and their own body's capacity to eat. What is their relationship with food? What what were they told growing up about their own bodies by their families or by their peers? All of these things really influence what the relationship is with food at the time we're seeing them. And pinning their relationship with food, that's going to impact how much they're eating and when they're restricting and why they're restricting. And that is definitely impacting our plan of care. And so we've got to have these conversations, and we've got to dig deep. I often will tell our clinicians, this weekend we had a great ongoing conversation Saturday into Sunday about various clients who we're realizing are not eating enough. And, when we have those realizations, we got to have these conversations. And I tell clinicians that, you know, sometimes I'm spending an entire visit talking, educating, trying to understand the root of this issue. That way I can bring other parties into the conversation. So whether that's their primary care doc and getting certain blood work with them to help understand, whether that's a dietitian in the team, their coach on the team, and especially a mental health therapist on the team. Really, that makes up a beautiful team to help someone get through a situation in which they have a poor relationship with food, they're restricting or they're not eating enough and they're scared to eat enough. And you realize that they don't have enough energy in their system to rehab fully from whatever it is that they are trying to rehab from. Oftentimes it shows up as they come in for knee rehab and you start making some progress in that, and then suddenly they want to switch directions because something popped up with their shoulder. And then that's a really difficult thing for us, right? We have a whole plan that we're working on, and that's for their knee. How do we switch over? And making that call is really tough. And whether you make it or not, usually with these individuals, another body part will show up. When we start seeing that, we realize that this is likely not a tissue issue. It goes much deeper than that. And so we got to start having these conversations. This is where I refer a lot to Wild Health. I love using the Wild Health group because they understand what this is. Unfortunately, many practitioners don't understand the implication of REDS, or relative energy deficiency, in sport. Many times, people won't fully understand that we're working with an athlete who is going to have a really hard time pulling back out of exercise. And maybe they won't. I know that I'm not going to promote just totally backing out of exercise. So we've got to have this balance, right? We've got to have energy in, energy out, balanced. Oftentimes with people, it's this: not enough energy in and way too much energy out. So we got to figure out how to balance it. Do we just stop expending energy? Do we just eat a ton more food? Both of those extremes are usually not the answer. It's finding that middle ground, a little bit more food, a little bit less activity or less intensity, and finding that middle ground for them. And for different individuals, this is going to take different amounts of time, depending on how long they've been in this situation. And it's going to be challenging in different realms. And so having that team of a good doctor getting that blood work done and tracking that, a good coach understanding that and helping them hold back as they need to, a good dietitian coming in to help push the good foods and help educate them how this is helping you feel better in the gym and have better blood work. a good mental health therapist, really helping them dig down to some of those root issues. And then us coming alongside them with rehab. And I'm not saying that that just because the root of the issue is this doesn't mean that we don't still treat the knee or the shoulder or the whatever pops up, right? We can always treat and get people stronger. So stay in the game with them and help them and communicate with this entire team. And we can really, really change the trajectory of someone's life. We can help minimize their future risk of injury dramatically. And by facilitating this, we can really help them deal with some really difficult things from their past by helping them find a good mental health therapist and helping them get through that. So I say that I didn't realize I'd be having this conversation so much because it is absolutely true. You know, we serve as this kind of this beacon of health and of this resource dealer. They're coming to us a lot of times they're coming to us first, or they're coming to us because they heard that we can really help, and recognize that we don't have to be the ones that do it all. We can just be that center of the web and help them find the resources elsewhere in the community. So I wind up having this conversation. I mean, I'm talking about lack of food or lack of sufficient energy. Um, I would say I talk about it to someone almost every single day because not only is it a difficult issue within our clients and our population that we treat, it's also something that I've personally dealt with, that the people that I work with have dealt with, that the people that our faculty here have dealt with. It's not just a female issue either, it's a male issue as well. And so we really need to have this conversation and just keep it front of mind. And that way we can get to the root and really help some folks. So, thanks so much for coming on and listening. I hope that you took something from this and can kind of start to build your web and find the people in your area that can be helpful for you or your clients. And I would love to hear your thoughts on this. So comment below and we will talk soon. Have a good one.